session that is integrating ESG criteria in procurement, promoting sustainable and responsible sourcing. For this, I would like to call Mr. Shyam Singh, Associate Director Global Procurement, LTIMindtree. Mr. Shyam Singh, with 2 decades of experience in IT procurement and supply chain, currently leads global procurement for LTIMindtree software and SI Tower and actively contribute to the procurement and supply community through knowledge sharing and case studies. Previously, he held national roles with Entity Limited and Neotric Limited. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Shyam Singh?
Thank you, Gains Media. Thank you, all the seniors. Today we talk about ESG. ESG is not fancy word, now it's compulsion. Before talking to that particular subject, which is very close to my heart, post-pandemic we all experienced how essential environment is. But before that, I would like to thank you, all of us, for coming out from a comfort zone, from our day-to-day life, and sitting here. So let's have a round of applause for ourselves, right? We are here from out of our normal zone. Ideally, what is happening, we see the presentation from supplier to buyer, right? I am at your side since I am also buyer. But here, I need to present something that is very realistic in nature. But before that, we need to understand what is the logic behind the importance of environment. Then we need to understand the social impact and how it is shifting to governance. Post-World War II, there is formation of UN. Now it's 193 countries are directly associated with that particular organization. So we understood the need of life. We understood the need of human being. We understood the need of environmental and protection. So in this group, who all are loving to nature, who all love nature, right? Who all loving nature, who all loves nature, explore nature. Very less, very less. Right, now second question. Who all wants to preserve this nature for your future generation? Right, fantastic, all. So we all are saving. That is not related to our money bank balance, but it's all about nature. So the gist is how we are saving our environment for our future generation. That is the main goal of this presentation. If we talk about the development from UN, then lots of treaties made for land, for seas. Now, if I consider the development and the framework, it's happened 1992. That was Earth Summit in Johannesburg. So we all knew there were certain goals, there were certain agendas, and all nations committed to meet it. Then the follow-ups happened in 2002. That was you could say that Rio plus 10 and then 10, 2012. So it happened from environment and protection to fight from poverty, to eradicate poverty from the world. And now in 2012, it's all about green energy. We have seen G20 commit. What happened in India, that is one earth, one family. And the message was very clear that we are the part of the same family and save the future. So if you see, it's started from earth. And right now, we all are talking for the earth. So it's like started from life, and we all are talking about the same. In 2024, we have incorporated our digital commitment in the same. So let's go to this particular slide. You would know, one, we are talking about individual. But if we are talking about company perspective, company is also an artificial person, could do certain agreements, right? So having certain obligation also. So it's all about people planet and profit. Since company is there, everywhere profit, right? But if you consider the aspect, how company interacts with the natural world, then its second social aspect is how company considers people and their relationship. Third is about how we are governing, what is the strategy to running the company, and what all about risk and compliances. Same things you all have listened, right? It's all about climate change and emissions. So if you go and consider this Paris Agreement, before that, if you understand the Earth Summit, then UN, a framework was for climate control, UNFCCC. It's all happened in 1992. Since 1992, we are fighting. And we have lots of treaties, like you can say Vienna Convention for this Vienna Convention is also there. So if you consider it's all about climate change and emissions, air, water pollution, deforestation, waste management, water use, energy efficiency, biodiversity, and protection. These all fall under environmental aspect. Second is social aspect, that is gender and diversity, data protection, human rights, labor standard, community relations, customer satisfaction, employee engagement. Now we could understand why this customer satisfaction is coming into picture. So if we want to have our social engagement, if we want to think our product, that should be customer-centric or people-centric. That is the whole idea behind it. Then it's all about governance, board composition, then bribery and corruption, reporting, transparency and accountability, executive compensation, auditing committee structure, tax strategies. These all are, you could get on every company's commitment site, right? So the question again, you might have that why ESG is in talk with procurement ASPOC. What is the role of procurement people managing this ESG? Why should I pay to the company who is having ESG, committed ESG, all the data are available on site, and they are also producing you materialistic fact and admissible evidence, right? That could be your question. That boss, I am responsible for managing my budget. I am responsible for managing my DSO, DPO, CCC. I am responsible for managing my bottom line. Why should I pay to ESG companies who all are coming and promoting their business? Is this cost, right? So that type of questions would come in your mind. It's all like science is boon or bane. But again, question is, if something that is getting saved for future generation, we have less amount of resource available, right? If we talk about India perspective, we have only 2.4% of land. If I talk about global perspective, we are holding less than 2% of forest. We have approx 18% of population in comparison of global aspect. So we are very diverse in nature. Again, development is there, need is all about social equality, then it's all about diversity and promoting ethical business conduct. That is the reason ESG coming into picture. So now it's not fancy word, however, it's obligation, it's compulsion and it's commitment. That is what procurement people has to work on and consider when you are doing all these contracts with the supplier. Then second part is all about sustainable procurement, right? So we already discussed about environment, we already discussed about a social aspect of it, then we discussed about governance, but how it is happening to procurement. So procurement is all about economy. Till the time there is no flow of money, there is no flow of information, the procurement is not finished, right? So first of all, it's all economy. It should be fair business. Fair business in terms of ethical business practices, you know how things are happening. So basically, when you are designing your RFP, your needs should be clear. It should be clear what is the life cycle of that particular product. that is not limited to consumption, but it should be also outlining the disposal. So that we need to clear on economic aspect, right? We need to be very reluctant on account of drafting the contract, which should clearly outline all the policies that will impact to local economy, then again consumer well-being. So whenever any product is there, it should be customer-centric. Anti-bribery and money laundering also you can put into your contract and avoid such type of misdeed. Society, it's all about health and safety. We all are knowing OSA, HERA, and multiple ISO type of thing which we are practicing for our companies. For big companies, it's mandatory, while for SME, still we are adopting the best practices. So that is all about societal thing. Environmental, we have discussed about the things in detail, but again here, carbon footprint, energy efficiency, that is something which we need to focus on. And if we go for multiple ISO, whether it is 20,400, 2,800, 2,600, 50,000, all talking about sustainable procurement and energy consumption, that including carbon footprint all. Then governance is there, risk and compliance management, that depends on company to company and industry to industry. So just a gist on international law, if you put all these things, there are multiple aspects. The question again came into picture when you do such type of research, whether that particular rules, regulation are under the obligation of the company to perform, or it is a directive to operate. So there are multiple, you can say, principles here. One is very clear, Agenda 2030 having 17 goals that emphasize on sustainability, climate, labor, and poverty. It's the same started in 1992, where it was directive, but now here it is commitment. You could see multiple companies are pushing it, and many efforts are happening also on government level. For example, if you are importing something, the packaged quality is getting checked. You are responsible for importers' processor responsibility for the safe disposal. Any hazardous goods are happening, there are different process and procedure which you need to follow and take permission from Pollution Control Board. So lots of stuffs are happening within customs, excise and sale tax, and we could see government are very serious on that particular part, as well as companies too. Then Europe, EU Corporate Sustainability Report Directive, CSRD is there, and if you read it, lots of stuff are there and new things are there. UK Modern Slavery Act 2015, this is the act wherein if you are drafting any contract or doing business in that particular territory, you have to abide by all these process and policies. And for any deviation, there is use penalty also. Other is streamlined energy and carbon reporting, SCCR is there, ISO 26000, I elaborated here. International Labor Organization for Fair Labor and Practices, that is also UN initiative. China Environmental Protection Law is also there. So if you go and read China, Canada, France, US, UK, everywhere environmental protection law is there. It means companies, government or states are very serious on that particular part. In Japan, we have Corporate Governance Code 2021. For India perspective also, we have SEBI BRSR. So I think many of us are fighting for BRSR reporting, right? So that is what you need to take care. Other is Companies Act 2013, wherein you are responsible for CSR. Again, this is, you can say, very scattered. So one is International Sustainability Standard Board, IISB 2021. So if you read all these international law and local law, you would understand the gist, why this is essential and what could be done for the betterment. Then again, it's all about integrating ESG criteria into procurement. So one is very clear that you have your reputation. If someone is saving something and doing any act that is for the future generation, it should be appreciated. Risk is getting mitigated since it's associated with environmental and social issues. Financial performance are there, consumer preference always. You can say nowadays ESG compliant suppliers are getting weightage. Supply chain resilience, I think you all are coming from supply chain and procurement, must be knowing it. Now, if I consider all about challenges and navigating ESG integration, it's all about complexity. Complexity, when we talk about then managing scope 1, 2, that is under your control. Scope 3 is something that is not under your control. However, you are responsible for it. It's the part of the whole value chain. You need to take care of your suppliers spend plus supply chain. So that is something totally, you can say, unstructured in nature. But yes, lots of scope are there. Regulatory compliance, BRSR reporting, which type of reportings are happening, the authenticity of that particular data, the accountability of the company, these all are regulatory compliances. Then supplier evaluation also is, that is very, you can say things, wherein we are evaluating supplier on certain numbers. Now, what about these numbers? What about the data which supplier is giving on account of their evaluation? Then ethical governance and technology and data utilization. All about rating tools, what all are available, what all parameters are there, benchmarks are there, that all things are there. But again, I am telling you, we learned a lot on, based on COVID, we understood the gist, how environment is essential. Being a procurement professional, we understand that what is the role of saving the natural resources. So lots of impetus we could see. This is something, again, I am telling you, that is compulsion, that is the need of an hour, and we need to focus on people, planet, and profit. So that's what the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shyam. I would request you to please stay back on the stage. And to do the honors, I would like to call Mr. Neeraj Athe from ICETIS. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Shyam Singh?